morning to you viewers. Let's begin what's trending with the protests that rocked Ibadan, Oyo State on Monday over the rising cost of living in the country. The protesters blocked major roads in the state capital to express their grievances, some carrying placards with inscriptions like "Open Border," "End Hardship," "The Poor are Starving," and "Tinubu, don't forget your promises," while chanting anti-government songs.
We are starting. This is just the start. It is a continuous action. Expect protest from any angle. It must not be me. It can be you. It is everybody, because the problem does not only affect only me, neither it affects everyone. So on this note, every Nigerians, whether up and abroad, anywhere you find yourself, if you have the capacity, organize, we will be there for you. If anybody stop you, we will come for your rescue. It is a duty in which we are signing for, and we must collectively fight for our liberation. Enough of this hike in cost of living. No, we cannot afford to eat 3 square meals a day. Why those that are governing us, they can eat and they are even riding on our own money. What they extort from us is what they used to live lavishly.
Well, in the meantime, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's son, Sheyi Tinubu, has called on Nigerians to have faith in his father's administration in the midst of the economic hardship plaguing the nation. Sheyi, in a post on his Instagram page on Monday, recalled President Tinubu's statement during the country's 63rd independence anniversary. Well, his father wrote, and this is what he posted on his Twitter account. He wrote, "There is no joy in seeing the people of this nation shoulder burdens that should have been shed years ago. I wish today's difficulties did not exist, but we must endure if we are to reach the good side of our future." Well, in the same vein, the first daughter of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Folashade Tinubu-Ojo, who is the Iyaloja General of Lagos State, has also called on Nigerians to be patient over the economic hardship in the country. Folashade made the plea when she was turbaned the Iya Adini of Kadariya in Nigeria and Africa for her contributions towards the development of Islam on Sunday. Folashade, whose husband's recent appointment as the managing director of the Federal Housing Authority has drawn criticism among housing sector stakeholders, assured Nigerians that her father is working to address the hardship in the land. While Daily Trust quoted Folashade as saying, "My message to all Nigerians is to please exercise a little more patience. Everything will be all right. It's just a matter of time. We need to keep our hope alive. There is an economic downturn all over the world, and not just in Nigeria alone. But we pray Allah will see us through." All right. While I catch my breath, obviously, you know that this will draw a lot of reactions amongst many Nigerians, because they would say, they are saying that, President Tinubu's children may not even experience half of the hardship or any of the hardship Nigerians are facing at this point. Your take before I take some reactions from distinguished Nigerians as well.
Very quickly, because I'm sure I would love to hear the Nigerians speak.
All right, let me give you a tweet. Actually, Folashade's video was on Sunday, and Sheyi posted his tweet on Monday. So all of that came out only just yesterday. So this is a tweet from Distinguished. He wrote, "Today was a blessed day. We patriotic Nigerians were addressed by Sheyi Tinubu, the rightful occupant of the office of the first son, and Iyaloja, the rightful occupant of the office of the first daughter. Please keep hope alive." That was tongue-in-cheek. Let me take another tweet. This person wrote, "Hardship. Having faith in the Tinubu government is a matter of choice. As of July 31, 2023, Nigeria has saved over 1 trillion naira, that is $1.32 billion, in just over 2 months from subsidy removal, and yet Nigeria's debt has risen by 75% in 3 months, reaching a total of 87 trillion naira. Meanwhile, Nigeria's 2024 budget is projected to have a debt service of 45% of the expected total revenue. How can the government, which has allocated 45% of its total revenue to service debt, be expected to perform miracles? What are the positive impact of the money saved from subsidies on Nigeria's over 8 months? Nigerians were rewarded with "be patient and have faith," while politicians and their families live in luxury. This is the rhetoric everywhere.
Yes, it is, and rightly so. Like it was mentioned by the earlier tweet, To be fair, and I have to clarify that there's no office of the first son and there's no office of the first daughter. If they were speaking out, they were speaking in solidarity of their dad, which is normal. I mean, you want to defend your father because you can. And the positive side of that, Oji, is the fact that it means that the cries of Nigerians are hitting. So they are hearing it now. You know, sometimes there's a lot of hunger in the land and people are complaining, but the president is shielded from this and they are giving him good reports. But the fact that they feel the need to come out to defend their dad and ask Nigerians to be patient means that positively the protests are they're echoing. The tweets of Nigerians are echoing. The reports and the work of the media is resonating in Aso Villa. So people, they're listening. And that's why in the earlier protests, the video that I'd shown, the gentleman there was saying that as many Nigerians as possible, both home and abroad, ought to take to the streets to protest. I don't know about that, but I do know that when it's peaceful, Nigerians have a right to peaceful protest, especially to express their unhappiness with the way that things are currently going on. Now, when it comes to the statements made, the truth is that when people like Sheyi Tinubu and Iya Lodja, General of the Federation, according to a new title following the swearing in of her dad, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when they come out to say things like this, it would carry more weight if their words and their actions align. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be like that. And when it comes to the elites, not just both of them, I just use them as examples of what the elite represents in Nigeria. There's such a disconnect, such that you see lawmakers defending 70 million naira, the cost of 70 million naira to buy SUVs because the roads are not pliable. And then you have the man on the street who does not make up to $1 a day in terms of international figures. But in terms of Nigerian figures, 1,600 naira a day. So there's a disconnect. And what happens when people continue to see this inequality widen is that people get more angry. And when people get angry, they get very desperate as well. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest that rather than come out to make statements like this, let them go inwards and give this advice privately to their dad. And then the president of the Federation, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should do something. Also, finally, I'll make this point. It seems as if there are more people speaking other than the president. Mm-hmm. The president hasn't come out yet to address Nigerians, to speak to them. There are statements from his surrogates, there are statements from people. Oh, well, there was a statement released, a poster released where in different languages saying people should be patient. The question I'd like to ask is, how long should Nigerians be patient, and at what point would we get some form of reprieve? We've been hearing this since the removal of fuel subsidy on May 29, 2023, but it doesn't seem like anything is being done, and it's only a matter of time. The word is enough otherwise, and I hope that they'll do something really quickly to help Nigerians. Yeah,
those posters you were talking about, they were in different languages. They were released by the National Orientation Agency. If you can pull up some of those posters, they were released in Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, Pidgin, and most of the languages that we have. And it reads, I wish that all the troubles on the ground weren't there at all. But let's be patient if we want to improve our future. I'm not like other people. I'm different. I'm not the kind of person who builds his house on unstable ground. We'll wait a bit if we want our house to be safe and on solid ground. Change is painful, but it is what our future needs now if we want it to be great. I mean, this is what President Tinubu said, and the National Orientation Agency has released that. And we are hearing this, Dr. Abati, hardship. We are hearing be patient. We are hearing endure.
Well, the
not
people
from the poor.
Protesting yesterday in Ibadan, the traders and the youths made it very clear. They said there is hardship in the land. One of the placards they carried said, this is no hope. This is shege.
Yes.
And if you know what shege means, it means suffering, basically hardship. Now, but in the face of all of this, be patient is what we keep hearing. Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, said the same thing when organized labor said they were going to go on strike. And labor said, we've been patient for 5 months. So for how much longer do you want us to be patient? The Minister of State for Labor, Honorable Nkeruka Onyojocha, also used the same phrase, Nigerians should be patient. And I'm surprised that the National Orientation Agency has suddenly come alive because that was one government agency that was totally playing possum. But we hope that it will remain alive now, that it's beginning to at least say something. So the National Orientation Agency also is saying Nigerians should be patient. So this is a common refrain. As for the children of the president, Sheyi Tinubu and Iya Lodja General, and the Yardini of the quadrilla, coming forward and saying Nigerians be patient, Nigerians should learn to endure. Well, there's something called filial love. Some Nigerians will say, well, they've turned this thing into a family affair, something that is a serious matter. But what is responsible for the skepticism of Nigerians is that, it takes us back to that song. I think it's Max Romeo and Offsetters about Uptown Babies. Uptown babies don't cry. They don't know what hungry is like. Uptown babies don't cry. They don't know what suffering is like. They have mommy and daddy, lots of toys to play with. They don't know what suffering is like. And nanny and granny.
The legendary Dr. Abati. You're not only a legendary analyst, you're also.
So people will say, what do they know about suffering?
Absolutely, that's the question.
Preaching suffering and endurance. These are uptown babies. Do they really know what suffering is like? Do they know what Nigerians are going through? But the main message is the message that others have articulated, that government needs to address the plight of Nigerians.
Absolutely. Rufai, there are a lot of moving parts here.
Yeah.
And, one of the statements I read, which, concerns Folashade Ojo, was the fact that over the weekend there was that uproar with her husband, who was appointed recently as the head of, the housing authority. And a lot of people were talking about the president, just facing a lot of controversies at this moment, including nepotism, which I don't know if he really needs that right now.
I mean, the accusation of nepotism is quite sad.
Yeah.
Also, employment of incompetent people. We're just reviewing something. Somebody that was supposed to be put on the board that had Polytechnic. And the only job, the board of CBN, the only job for MPC is done before now. I worked in OP. You see, when you look at this country, you wonder what's happening. But you see, those that say be patient, be patient. The patient dog eat the fattest, but it's a lie. The fated dog these days. Oman Babolo kitchen. Because we're not ready. I mean, we all see these things. And I'm not laughing now. The truth has to be said. If you say somebody should be hopeful and you have parameters, then there's something to be hopeful. But there's no parameter. When the Russo-Ukrainian war happened, we thought, we're going to get more proceeds from crude oil because that's what used to save us in the past. When we had the economic struggle, when the Gulf War happened, it saved us. When we had economic quagmire in the 80s, a lot of things happened. When crude oil prices bump up, we have a safe landing. But, it's not because of oil theft. That's why we're not having crude oil price to save us. It's because of underinvestment. Government over the years does not put their own portion of investment with the oil majors. And because of that, people don't look at us seriously. So those oil majors are not investing again. That's why you see year on year, FDI is dropping and FPI, what they are expecting, is not coming in. You know why? Because they are not even raising interest rates. They are just going to have a monetary policy meeting a couple of days from now. So the parameters does not show anything is coming. They've been struggling to borrow money to show up the Naira all this while. You see, that one too has been babushos, babulujasi. So all the policies has just been babu here and there. And babu means to nullity.
A lot of people are asking what that meant.
The truth is, when you are saying people be hopeful, what are they going to be hopeful? Look at the budget parameters, Oji. The budget parameter shows that this government will have to take a supplementary budget at some point. Because they peg the budget at over 700 naira, or 800 naira to the dollar. Today is 1.7. Before Easter, it might be 2,000 if care is not taken. So you need to look for more money. And before the half year now, President Tinubu will be asking for more money. But in the spirit of song, Dr. Abba, the song of Plan Baby, me too, I want to sing a song this morning. In 1983, Dr. Victor Elijah sang a song. Ìlú lé o, kò sówó lóde, ọkùnrin kígbe, obìnrin kígbe, kálukú wọn kígbe owó. Oji, 1983, Victor Elijah sang that song. 41 years
What's
ago.
the temptation for our international audience?
It means the country is hard. There's no money anywhere.
The country is hard.
Men are crying, women are crying.
Yeah.
Everybody is crying for money. 1983 OG, Victor Laya sang that song. Today, we are singing that song. So when you now look at it, and somebody is telling us be hopeful, I have analyzed it. I challenge the government to give me better parameters to show for hope compared to what I have just said now.
All right.
If they are not good, you peg a budget, for instance, at over 700. The dollar now has gone over 1,600 or 700.
All right.
So that's why people are shocked, except you have to do magic.
Okay, I'm sorry, but in the spirit of fairness, I have to sing a line of my own song.
Okay, go ahead.
Food
Everyone
no
is
dey.
singing.
Aye, water no day. Our road no good though. Every day for TV now for all night.
All right, I don't want to be a party pooper. Is that the right thing? I'm done with this singing. No, this is not. I mean,
Because
seriously.
songs can be used to stage a
Well,
protest.
people have been chanting anti-government songs. This is horrific. There is no money. There's economic hardship in Nigeria. I do not want to sound like a pessimist. It is unfortunate. In the same vein, elite
patient,
utility
originator.
bill.